This is the Reporter's Notebook, hosted by Elaine Shane.
Welcome to this entry in the DTN Reporter's Notebook. DTN Senior Meteorologist Bryce Anderson joins us today as we're looking at what's happening with the weather for the winter. How big is the drought factor going to be?
I think it's going to be very big, Elaine, especially over an area from about the Mississippi Valley west, northwest, and southwest. That's where we have seen drought conditions be very stubborn here during the fall season. We obviously have seen some moisture improvements from about central Illinois east, and so the eastern part of the Corn Belt has definitely had some benefit from hurricane activity this fall, especially with Isaac and then most recently with Hurricane Sandy. But in the remainder of the western part of the Corn Belt and then the entire breadth of the plains, this drought factor is going to be very high. And of course, the thing is that we just don't have soil moisture profiles that are supplied enough to offer a real promising start to crops when they're planted next spring.
So what is the tendency for moisture usually at this time of year?
Well, that's where things get to be a little bit uncomfortable if one is looking for moisture recharge during wintertime, because in winter, the atmosphere is colder. We know that, that's obvious, and with a colder atmosphere, it tends to compress. And a compressed atmosphere does not hold as much water. So even though we may get storm systems in the wintertime, usually the precipitation is not that great simply because there isn't that much to work with.
Now, we had a fairly warm winter last year. How's it setting up for temperatures for this winter?
Well, this winter, we're looking for basically another round of at least normal temperatures to above normal. And the greatest chance for above normal is going to be over the plains, pretty much from about central North Dakota and central South Dakota on west and then on south. As far as the near normal temperatures, just about the entire Midwest, Delta, and then through the southeast. Really, the only area of below normal temperatures is going to be maybe in the Florida peninsula, of all places. But there still is a predominant bias, if you will, in the temperature patterns toward an above normal trend.
And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be wondering what's the precipitation going to be like for this winter.
Well, this is where things are going to have a real difference, because we're looking for the possibility of some better conditions moisture-wise in the eastern part of the Midwest, kind of like we've seen. And then in the south, the Gulf Coast through southeastern Texas should get along quite well as far as rainfall or precipitation is concerned. I'm still concerned, and our whole ag weather team is that from, say, about the Quad Cities in Iowa and Illinois on north and then west, and then obviously through the southwestern plains, that precipitation is going to be below normal.
The area that's still the worst under the Palmer Drought Index.
Yes, that's right. And we've got a large area, just about the entire hard red winter wheat belt, except for the southern extremities, is faced with this situation, as well as much of the northwestern half of the Corn Belt.
Thanks, Bryce.
You're welcome.
With Bryce Anderson, I'm Elaine Shane, and that's today's entry in the DTN Reporter's Notebook. Thanks for joining us.
This has been the Reporter's Notebook from the DTN Progressive Farmer Newsroom.